Hi, it's me again with Corel Drill Tips and Tricks. If I understand the gentleman right, he's making a headache rack for a pickup truck, and the black metal is going to be attached to this honeycomb metal. And I've already taken out your fill. So what I'm going to, and he's giving me example because he needs the holes for the letters and the black metal that's behind it. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to the transformation docker and uh, transparency docker, sorry, and I'm going to make it a little lighter so we can actually see it a little bit better. Now I've got everything broken apart and I've already made the holes the same size, and the M's pretty easy, but let's do a C, and so I'm going to nudge it down. Then I'm going to go to effects in contour. First of all, let's do this. Let's go to Windows, Dockers, Properties, and this C has, well, it doesn't really matter right now because we need to do the contour first. So I'm going to contour 0.35. And then I'm going to go to Object and break the contour apart. Then I'm going to grab that contour and I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to move my C back up. And I'm going to move this back over to where it belongs. And now if we go to Windows, Dockers, Properties, and find out how long this C is, it's 16.3 or 16.6 inches. And I've got his same size rivet holes. And if we take out a calculator and go 16.6 divided by, let me back up here. I measured the M holes to get it kind of close. I took a parallel dimension tool and I measured these holes. Now they're not all the same, but they're 2.6 about. So we're going to take these rivet holes. I'm hoping I'm understanding him right. Selecting them both, and I'm going to go to effects and blend, and I'm going to, so bring out the calculator, 16.6 divided by 2.6, I think it was. We get 6.3, so let's go with 7. So we're going to take this and we've already got 2, so we need to set our blend on 5. And then we're going to go down here to blend on new path, put it on our path, blend along full path. We don't have to about rotating it. We don't have to worry about it because they're round. And that pretty much spaces them out equally. Now I would literally not do this exactly. And if you move this one, you're going to get that effect. So we've got to grab it all, go to Object, break the blend apart, and then I would actually move that one to the center. Zoom in, maybe get a little bit closer to the center. And let's make sure they're all hairlines too. And maybe even put that one. So manually, you're going to have to maneuver some stuff around. If we click on that circle, I have to ungroup them. If we click on that circle, it should tell you the intersection, which is the middle. Of course, I should have made them all hairlines at first. Now what's cool about this, we can take away our C and hit the plus key on the keyboard and put it up, move them up to the C, and then that's where your holes are going to be for your C, if that's about close. Then we can move the C down. There's your holes for your rivets in your metal. Here's your holes, so Control G and group it. There's your holes for your letter. And then they would match up. I didn't group it together. Control G. Let's move it up so those holes are going to match up. And you can see, well, they're not all hairlines. Make sure they're hairlines. which I think yours are. If that's acceptable, that should work. You know, the eye would maybe be a little bit different. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's play around with the eye. Let's nudge it down. Let's go ahead and go contour. And let's break the contour apart. You really don't have to move it out of the way, but I prefer moving it out of the way. Then let's find out how long it is. Windows, Dockers, Properties. Windows, Dockers, Properties. It is 16 point, it's close enough to the other one. So let's do the exact same thing. I should have made a copy of my dots. And this time we will. So I'm going to take the Smart Fill tool and fill in one of those blue dots or dots with blue. This time I'm going to make sure it's a hairline. See, you've got your outlines picked. I always have mine picked on none, so you won't have an outline when you do it. But let's go ahead and take that and take away the fill. Add a red hairline. Make sure it's a hairline. Let's zoom in here. Let's make a duplicate of it. Just move it out of the way a little bit, doesn't really matter. Grab the two, go back to the blend. Let me shut this down. Sometimes I get a little, I don't use that many Dockers at one time. And let's blend it that 5 times again, because it's almost the same inch-wise. Now let's grab our blend, go up to blend a new path, put it on our path, blend along full path, and once again, I would change it up a little bit. You know, so the blend's going to help you on some of the letters, but it's not going to help you on all of them. And just to, I don't know how thick your metal is. Let's take this and go to Object, break the blend apart, and I might, you know, do the same thing we did here. And if you get it on there, it's going to go to that midpoint. And then, you know, if you want it to look the same, you could make another dot and put it there, or just go ahead and move. I got to ungroup them. This one should go right to the midpoint. And then you could kind of play around with these. I kind of like the staggered look, but we would want to move them down a little bit. But if you hold down your control button, you can move them down a little bit. Now let's take away our C, or that part of the E. Control G to group it. Hit the plus key on your keyboard. Move that over to your I, and see all of them are within your parameters. You know, I would maybe put, you know, add another one and put one across and make it equal, but that's personal preference. And then take it up there, and I should have made a copy. Hit the plus key on the keyboard, move it down, group this together. So there's your holes for your rivets in the metal. And then after you cut your eye out, it should fit exactly where you want it. One, doing it this way, at least you know your letters are going to be where they should be, lined up. I truly hope that's what he was asking. You know, that plus sign, you know, maybe I would just make a cross and put 4 rivets on a cross instead of trying to contour. Well, you know, you could probably contour that and it would probably match up if you just put 4 rivets. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.